Hello everyone, welcome to this year's rollout of Veterans Appreciation Luncheon hosted by Fellowship Power Lunch on November 15th from 11 to 1 p.m. at the Frisco Event Center in Frisco, Texas.
Yes, Frisco Hall.
Frisco Hall Event Center in Frisco, Texas. Today we are honored to have the keynote speaker, U.S. veteran, Navy veteran, Jennifer Marshall, and with her is Lisa K. Gurney, the founder of Fellowship Power Lunch.
Yes. Welcome everybody, it's a pleasure.
Good morning.
Yes, our 4th year, I can't believe it.
Jennifer, it's such a great pleasure to have you here today.
Yes.
With your hectic schedule between working on Mysteries Decoded and being a private investigator yourself, and also just coming off the series Stranger Things as Max's mom.
Yeah.
What an amazing evolution of becoming going from a combat veteran, U.S. Navy combat veteran, into a field of creativity and exploration of different characters and different mysteries that you are part of. Talk to us a little bit about what the journey would look like, diving into that kind of to that genre of entertainment.
So I just want to say I do identify as a veteran, obviously not a combat vet. That's the boots on the ground that I say thank you so much for, because I don't know if I could do what you guys do. So it takes a village, but yeah.
It does.
It was a crazy sort of transition. It was like I got out, and then I was not feeling well from the anthrax shots. I was kind of ill from the anthrax shots, and so I figured, well, what could I do? I was working a little bit here and there. And then I had a friend who was in a commercial, and I said, how much does that commercial pay?
Yeah.
The rudest question ever. And he said, I got $400. And I said, $400? I could do this. So I started taking classes at the local acting studio, because I thought, I'm not well enough to work full time, but I could work here or there. I could do a commercial or two. And then I started booking, and that was kind of it. And then I moved to Los Angeles, and it's hard as an actor in Los Angeles. Yes. And so I said, all right, I'm really interested in private investigation, and there's a part of acting that's kind of like, being somebody else, playing somebody else. And so that's how I got involved in that. And I worked under 2 different PIs, got my 6,000 hours, and ended up getting my license. And then Mysteries Decoded came along, so.
That's amazing. Yeah. So you spent 5 years in the Navy, and you were an aircraft handler, worked in aviation logistics, and you were in the ship security defense force team. Also repair, locker, fire team.
You know what Navy stands for? Never again volunteer yourself. Because if you're like, hi, I have some interest, they're like, all right, you'll do it.
Yeah.
So when I first came in, I worked as an aircraft handler, and then after that I did aviation logistics, and then for collateral duties I did ship security defense force, because I loved shooting, I still love shooting. Yeah. And then I was on the repair, locker, fire team, and funny enough, I'm a firefighter here. The department shall remain nameless, but I'm a volunteer firefighter here, and
nice.
it stems from being in the Navy, and I did some of that then, and so I really enjoy giving back in that aspect to the community.
That's awesome. I was doing a lot of research on this interview beforehand, and I was looking at all the accolades that all the things you're kind of like a Renaissance woman, and so to speak, right? I mean,
yes.
Some of the things that were listed were you were part of the ship's sexual assault intervention program, and you were advocating for rape and assault victims too. You talk about someone who really serves. You're kind of you speak to the perfect example of what that looks like.
Yes. Unstoppable.
Thank you. There was an article that I read, I think it was an NPR, about how scientists are trying to discover the altruism gene. Do some people actually have this gene? So I always say I just do it all for me.
Yeah.
I just do it. It helps other people, but helping other people, there is an intrinsic benefit personally to that, and it does make me feel good, and I miss helping people when I was in the military. And as an actor, it's hard.
Yeah.
You don't really do that so much.
If it's helping you, then it overflows and helps everyone else. But it starts with you.
Yes, that's exactly how I feel. And I feel so blessed to be in a position where I can help other people.
Right.
You're really blessed.
I was going to ask you a question. Now, you also are the executive producer of Make the Connections, and you do the mental health public service announcements. You're part of that creative process, right? Doing the research, I noticed, I was watching the videos on maketheconnection.com, right? And I was noticing that all the veterans that were sharing their story were doing something creative with their life. Specifically, there was one that was in the artillery field, and he said he was looking for his passion in life, and it ended up becoming he took sewing classes, and now he makes dresses. I was like, do you believe that that when people transition out of the military, that they should start exploring their creative space, like a creative maker space for themselves?
I think with the veteran, with the Make the Connection campaign, I executive produced on 5 of them, and then I technical advised. They bring in a veteran to say, is this accurate? I did that on a handful more, and then I went in to produce 30 PSAs on my own. And I did run into the same thing where people were really creative coming out, and I think it's because as veterans, that side of us is very shut down. It's like you're going to compartmentalize, you're going to be part of the mission, you're going to do what you have to do, and I think that the arts it's such a healing process for people. And if you can only break down those barriers and say, okay, I am going to be vulnerable because this is a safe space in which to be vulnerable, right, it has a lot of healing effects. So I always support that. I do tell people the arts is very finicky, so have a backup plan and have a 9 to 5 like we all do in the beginning. Right. But there's so much healing in painting, in theater, in acting, in singing, in dancing, whatever it is, sewing.
Yeah.
That we don't have the opportunity to experience those sort of things while we're in. For the most part, most of us don't.
Yeah, that's crazy. What was it? What was your reason? What were a couple of reasons why you felt it was important to be part of Fellowship Power Lunch and join Lisa Kay on this as a keynote speaker for this year's luncheon?
I think that there's so many things. First of all, I love what she's done, and she's reached out to the community, and she's really made something just tangible and beautiful in the community, and she's made a space where people can connect. And the fact that the second year in, she reached out to the veteran community. That is so important, because when we leave the military, there's a part of us where we're kind of searching and we're missing that camaraderie. And I also thought it was important just on a personal level to get involved, because I've been through a lot of adversity, a lot. And I do speeches where I talk to the veteran community, because sometimes it can seem like 1, 2, 3, you're out for the count. And that's not true, and that's not the way it has to be. Right. And part of what frustrates me about a lot of veteran things in TVs and movies is, we're portrayed as this broken community and we're beyond help, and that is so not true. Along with post-traumatic stress also comes post-traumatic growth. And it's important that we recognize that, be there for each other, inculcate a sense of community, and say that, hey, you're struggling and that's okay, but this isn't the end. This is just the beginning of your new life, of your post-military life, and it's going to be beautiful, and it can be great, and it's okay to ask for help.
Yes.
Yeah, it's awesome.
And that's exactly
Lisa Kay?
why we bought Fellowship Power Lunch. Veterans Appreciation is for that reason. Even outside of veteran communities, it's people in general who, if we're walking through certain things in our life and we feel like we're at it alone, and we don't have to be. I mean, that's where we connect, and that's where when the veterans that do attend, they're connecting with more family than they came in with, and that's huge, and they realize that they are not alone.
And sometimes it's just an ask.
Yeah.
I think as vets, especially vets, people in general, we're afraid to ask for help, we're afraid to look weak, but a lot of times it's just a simple ask, and sometimes you get far more than what you even asked for.
Yeah.
And the community involved in something like this is so important.
Yes.
Yeah. Jennifer, we started off this conversation, referring to you as a Renaissance woman, and you're,
and listen, I am jack of all trades, master of none. Okay.
Yeah. Jack of all trades, all right, or Jill of all trades.
Jill of all trades, master of none.
There you go. Okay, you remind me of one of the very first people we had on as a keynote speaker. Her name is Elizabeth McCormick. She was a pioneer to become one of the very first Black Hawk fighter pilots for I think it was for the Air Force or Navy, Air Force or Navy, or one of those two. But she was one of the first pioneers of that. Do you see yourself taking a role, the role as a woman who paves a way for other women to tap in and stay in touch with the other sides of their personality so that they can create opportunities for their lives?
It's funny because I see myself as someone who is inspired by other women who did that. So most people don't know this, but B. Arthur was a Marine. B. Arthur from Golden Girls was a Marine. And so to make that transition, especially to be a Marine when she served, to make that transition is just amazing. There's another veteran who I know quite well. Her name's Sky Marshall, and we are not related. She is black, I am white, so sister from another mother. But she's wonderful and she's amazing, and I watch her work, and I tend to be inspired by others, especially veterans working in that space. If you look at John Huertas, he was on Castle, he was on This Is Us, he's an Air Force veteran. Tucker Smallwood, he's a Marine, he's an Army Vietnam vet, and you look at these people and you can only hope to be like a sliver of what they were, and you're just so thankful that they paved the way. Sky and I started around the same time, but these other guys really paved the way for veterans in entertainment, and I'm very, very thankful for that.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, when I was doing my part to get to know you better off camera, like I realized that you're actually now in that role. You're filling in those shoes too. Now people are looking at you. Before we got on camera, we talked about Sheena Lawless, who's the very first VFW commander and female commander, and now you're kind of in those shoes too, taking the driver's.
And I am so thankful to help people.
Yeah,
it's one of the things that I love. I mentor actors, and that's obviously a paid thing because time and information, right?
Yeah.
But when people come to me and they say I'm a veteran, I never charge another veteran. I'll say, okay, well, let's get you up to speed and let's see where you can be. It's like, no, I want to pay you for your time. No, you paid in your service to this country. And there's nothing that makes me more happy is to see another veteran succeed.
Yeah.
Because a win for one of us is a win for the entire community.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Well,
wow.
Lisa Kay, you have a question?
That's why we make our Veterans Appreciation Luncheon complimentary to our veterans and their spouses, is for that reason too, is to honor them in their service. So, yeah.
And that's so important because sometimes, I've been very lucky because in the public eye, people will say thank you and people will recognize, and I'm always very appreciative of that. But some people, they don't have that spotlight, and they don't, sometimes, especially when days are hard, it can, make someone think, was it worth it? These injuries that I have, these mental injuries, these physical injuries. So I think it's really, really important to always let our veterans know that they're loved and appreciated, and we see them when we recognize that service.
Yeah. Going to another topic, or going to your I guess your entertainment career again. People are going to ask, what was it like working on the set of Stranger Things?
It was crazy because I remember the first season aired and everybody was writing about it on Facebook, and I was like, what? This came out of nowhere. What is this? And people, I'm not a big TV person, surprisingly, being an actor, I'm just not. And they said, no, it's 80s, you have to watch it. So I watched it and I thought, this is amazing. This is incredible. So then the following season, the casting notice came out and it said, we're looking for a mother for Sadie Sink. And who plays Max, and I had loved her work. I had tweeted about her work from the time she was Annie in Broadway. She was on a show called American Odyssey. She was on The Americans. I had always thought she was such a great actress.
Wow.
So it was very surreal. I thought, okay, we look very similar. Don't mess up this audition. Don't mess up this audition. And then when I ended up booking it and I was on set, I had a very surreal feeling sitting at this table full of stars. One of these things is not like the other. One of these things is not the same. It's me. So you have this imposter syndrome, and there were times where I thought, I don't know if I deserve to be here. I don't know, because it was just so it was so odd. But they made me feel so at home, and made me feel as if I did deserve to be there. And I'm very thankful. That is an amazing set.
Yeah.
It's a wonderful cast, a wonderful crew, and it's a dream set to be on.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I'd like to know, outside of work, your family, children.
Yeah, I have.
Are they in the same line of work as you are?
No. So I have 4 children. I have 2 stepdaughters from my husband's previous marriage that I helped raise, and then I have my 2 boys who are 17 and 8. And my little one did a commercial, I think, when he was probably 2, and it was just one where he had to dance. He was the best dancer. But then after that, I just decided at that age, it's fun because they're dancing. You can't really tell them to say lines, but it's a hard industry for kids.
Oh, I bet.
And I didn't want them involved. And people will come to me and say, can you mentor my child who's coming into the industry? And I won't, because I feel like it's a very harsh environment for adults. And so I can't recommend it to kids because it's hard. The things that are said to me, I'm an adult and I can kind of say, oh, that's your opinion, but I would never want those things said to my children. It's hard. It's hard. So no, definitely not. He's got the money squirreled away from that one commercial though. We've got it in a little account. So
good. Yeah.
Well, I went to, just personal story, I actually went to a casting one time.
Did you?
Yeah, I did, and I took my girlfriend and we were both trying out for a part, or like we went in there just to see what, and then they selected me and they didn't select her, and I was like, oh man, I just felt really
No, because you never
it
know
was just
that.
like cut and dry. No, not you. I was like, whoa.
That's what I tell people is you never know what they're looking for, and no, here's the biggest thing to remember in Hollywood, no never means no.
Yeah.
No means I owe the producer a favor, you're too tall, you look like my ex-wife, we want to save you for a bigger part, no, you're prettier than the lead. It never means that. I had a friend who auditioned for something and she's gorgeous, really good actress. But you don't want to put her next to the lead of a big show because you just don't. So it's very infrequently, you're terrible. Unless you're just terrible, which happens sometimes. But it's very infrequently that. Most of the time it's, you never know.
Yeah. Okay, 3 reasons why veterans or spouses, well, anyone should attend this year's Veterans Appreciation Lunch.
So I would say, first of all, to network with other veterans, to know that there's a community. And networking with veterans is different. We're not, out to get something. We're more out to get to know each other and learn about each other. I think that's important, just to create a like-minded community. 2, because I love people and I'd love to meet people. And 3, I feel like it's just a really important event, not only for the veteran community, but for the community as a whole. It's a really important event that I'm so thankful to be asked to speak at.
We're thankful. Thank you very much, for sharing your knowledge, your wisdom, your caring with our communities. And I know they are all very excited to meet you.
I'm very excited too. Those are my brothers and sisters, so
Yes.
very excited.
Maybe we'll have more children at this one and come and get some pictures and autographs with you. That'd be really cool.
I welcome it.
Right?
Well, we haven't had children yet, but
Yeah. Well, what do you think, Lisa Kay? Any other question? Anything else you'd like to add?
I'm just thrilled that Jennifer Marshall is blessing us this year to help us walk out our 4th year Veterans Appreciation with Fellowship Power Lunch. Very, very excited. It's going to be here before you know it. We are in a time frame or time crunch for our sponsors, so please step up, help us make this a big event this year and every year. You can find us on fellowshippowerlunch.com, and through there you can sponsor, you can join us, or you can donate for tickets for our veterans to attend. Yeah, we're very excited.
Awesome, guys. Well, that's it for our rollout for Veterans Appreciation Luncheon on November 15th from 11 to 1 p.m. at the Frisco Hall Event Center in Frisco, Texas. We would love to have you there. Of course, as I always say, have peace and light in you. Remember that the ocean refuses no river.